Welcome to the downside. Early-ish Patreon exclusive. In honor of Jimmy Kimmel, we're going to talk a lot about politics with very few jokes. We are here. Nothing, Russell? Not even a smile? Not even a smirk?
A smile at what? I was like, I thought you were being serious. I mean,
A lot of politics and no jokes.
I don't feel like I have the funny thing yet. Like what? I mean, there's like
No.
funny,
That was the whole point. That was the whole point.
I am genuinely like for whatever reason, it's so crazy that in your mind you're like, okay, the Nazis are here is directly related to Jimmy Kimmel is losing his TV show. But for whatever reason, when I heard that right before I went on the show last night, I was like, oh my God. I think it's the combined with Colbert and the thing of like, wait, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And
I think it's like, it feels so stupid, but you have to remember, like, it feels so stupid that the breaking point, the thing the history book would point to would be the Jimmy Kimmel show. But you have to keep in mind, our country is at peak stupidity. So all like the warning signs, all the like shifts in temperature and big turns, pivots that the administration is going to take, they're going to feel dumb. Yeah. But they are significant despite that it's just a late night show. Yeah. It is I think what's so frightening about it is more the like, I think we can pull this one off now and get away with it. Yeah. It's like, and every single time they have, you know.
I mean, they've maximized on this guy's death. They've figured out a way to make it real useful for them.
There is no one who is happier about his death than Republicans. Talk about like they don't, how dare people celebrate or be happy. I'm like, no one is more thrilled than the immediate running to the levers of power and going, now we can do this one.
Yeah. And thank God a lot of people bent over backwards to tell us why, like, oh, no, we can't possibly. Oh, thank you, all those helpful liberals who
Thanks,
in this
Jamie
moment,
Lee Curtis.
Thank you so much, Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you so much, Ezra Klein. Thank you guys so much for doing, like, what the fuck are we doing here?
But
You're
that's
all
like the whole
part of it. It's so crazy.
Also, fucking, I don't give a shit. I mean, he posted it, but it was like, Tim Dillon was like, it was, his version of like, this isn't good. And then was like, I don't think late night shows should be canceled. And I don't think people should be shot for their opinions. See how easy it was to say that? And I go, shut the fuck up. You are this idea of like, guys, if we just play by the rules of the people hijacking the country and we just say the things, it's all going to be okay.
Also, like, that's not even what they're not even going after the people that said, I'm glad he was shot or whatever. They're going after people who have made indirect jokes about it or who have talked about, okay, that what he did was bad, but blah, blah, blah. They're not even going after those. It's not even like Jimmy Kimmel went on TV and said, I'm glad he died. He deserved to die. That's not even what's happening, Tim Dillon.
Jimmy Kimmel is going to be the I mean, to my mind, what's so ironic about the whole thing is I view most of Jimmy Kimmel's work as like not enough bite, too respectful, too honorific. And you hope amongst all results that people who believe kind of in manners and decorum and kindness get shaken awake at some point and go, also, no one's getting points for being like kind of sweet and being like, well, let's all get along. Let's just keep saying that. And then eventually people will come to their senses. No, there's a faction of fucking psychopaths. They are not the majority, but there is a faction of fucking psychopaths that are being led, and this is where I feel so connected to it, being led by failed actors, entertainers, or decent entertainers who are using this to elevate themselves to the top. and they every argument they put forth is in bad faith. Every time Dave Portnoy or all the people, Matt Walsh, who is he goes cancel culture. This isn't cancel culture. This is consequence culture. And I go, but like Dave Portnoy. Can you pull up the Dave Portnoy's tweet page?
His was like anything in the past. You're like, okay, well that was in the past. This sort of thinking is. Cancel culture is only things picked from the past to blah 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 to then you're like, well, every action is something that's happened in the past, so I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, you're like,
but of course, but that's the point. There's no point in engaging with this. There's no point in like, I mean everything yesterday. I mean, I'm losing my goddamn mind because I see a couple of the comedians. I see a couple of comedians like trying to. Okay, here we go. With Kimmel getting canned, I'm seeing lots of people talking about the hypocrisy of cancel culture. To me, this, by the way, I should do this while I'm eating a fucking pizza. Yeah. To me, cancel culture is when people go out of their way to dig up old tweets, videos, etc., looking for dirt on somebody they don't like in an effort to get them fired. False. Like if Kimmel got canceled for shit he did on The Man Show, that would be cancel culture. But when a person says something that a ton of people find offensive, rude, dumb, in real time, and then that person is punished for it, that's not cancel culture. That is consequences for your actions.
No one saw that Kimmel clip. What the fuck are you talking about? No one saw that clip until the show got canceled. No one was.
And by the way, ABC didn't do it directly. ABC. I mean, listen, I'm not going to defend any fucking corporate people at this point. But I believe what they were saying is that the FCC. Led by Trump, they said like we could do this the hard way or the easy way. They pulled the lever, so this wasn't like a consequence of like the people. This wasn't the power of the people.
I do have a problem. Also, you Disney adults, enough. Like enough. This because ultimately these people are caving to Nazis and doing it pretty quickly, and so. Like you gotta like pick a thing and it just you can't be a Disney adult anymore. I'm sorry. You gotta figure out a new way to go and do some kind of fun things, magical things. Go to Renaissance Fair, something. But you've got plenty of liberal people I know.
Go back to the Grimm brothers that all the Disney shit was ripped off of, and they took away the consequences of it because it gave you a rosy view of the world that is not true. In every Disney show, it should end with the princess dying because that's what's happening. Let me just see what. I mean, so there was Dave Portnoy. Here's the thing about. But here's. We'll entertain like having the conversation for a second, but then it's important to go, it doesn't matter what Dave Portnoy say. Dave Portnoy would say anything to justify this because he is getting money and power from what is happening. So stop taking it seriously. Cancel culture has a timeline on it. You're saying all the cancel culture that we talked about only referred to old tweets? That was it? It was never about a joke that was recorded at a comedy club right in that moment, or a joke made on stage, or a sketch that just happened. Cancel culture covered the whole gamut. So shut the fuck up, you fucking hypocrite. And just tell them to fuck off. Don't try to reason. Don't try to start defining what cancel culture is. It is whatever is being used to dole out punishment in any given moment.
I just this thing of like, I don't want to be involved in all of the mental gymnastics that these people have to take to rob money from poor people, and to like the thing is like Dave Portnoy, you're gonna do whatever mental gymnastics you have to do to keep making money and keep gaining a following from Republican Nazis right now, and so I think I don't want to be a part of it. Like if you were just being like. If you didn't even comment, like, but you have to pretend that you stand for something when you don't. You stand for money. You want more money,
this goes back to like how they like wanted people to. I mean, let's take it all the way back to Israel. Why not? Where like you have to as a human being go. Oh, the fact that they want everyone to start every single sentence with "Do you condemn Hamas?"
Yeah.
Also, like, do you think, though, that people shouldn't be hurt for their opinions? All of these things are just trying to dictate your speech in a way that prevents them from ever addressing any issue at all. It is no good faith. It is not about like saying, well, don't you think people should treat others like they want to be treated? None of this is all bullshit. This is all language bullshit, and this is to prevent you from addressing the actual problem. And you don't need to start every sentence, every tweet, every statement, every article, every conversation with, well, just
What
to be
happened?
clear,
Yeah.
yes.
What happened on October 7th was a blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I mean,
No
also,
one should ever be, even though the entire history of the globe and the universe in America is people do take actions, and we didn't all come here through some like peaceful kumbaya speeches all the time. They're lying. They are lying. And I promise you that if something happened to me on stage, no one would give a flying fuck from that side. This is a joke, and the little bit of empathy that I think makes people gravitate towards soft liberalism, it gets exploited, and politeness becomes the
politeness
leading.
becomes more important than human rights, than anything. I mean, I think, plenty of people online, have kind of connected the dots of like that whole sort of song and dance we did to quiet college students over the last 2 years and shut them down and make sure that they're not speaking out about things. And that was by both Republicans,
and
Democrats,
it was laying
liberals.
the groundwork for this.
And
Where
now Antifa, which is not a real organization, which doesn't have any like leadership people, or it's just a thought, is now the president is saying that that's a terrorist thing. So that's just labeling of what we're doing right now. I mean, like that is just like people speaking out about.
Of
fascism.
course, look, what Greg Abbott made sure that one college kid was expelled because he was like, mocking Charlie Kirk dying in some video, and you go and they go, well, listen, there's jokes, and then there's this, and it's like, I feel like maybe there is a faction, maybe there are some people who really did believe in you should be allowed to joke about anything. And those are the ones where I'm like, if you're so goddamn stupid, because I know this are some comedians, if you're so goddamn stupid that you're going to follow along with the people who now go, well, jokes are one thing, but you can't possibly mock a person's whose podcast you listened to once. You have to be respectful of that. Surely you can make a quick quip about the thousands of Palestinian children who were killed, and you can make like a sly joke about it. And be like, oh, you're gay for Gaza? Let's see what they do. And you do a quip. That's fine. But talking about one individual rich dude who is for open debate. Yeah, I'm gonna go around. Let me go around to the kindergartens and debate them on like whether their parents suck. And let's film that and make clips out of that, and just to really have open dialogue as a foundational principle. Shut the fuck up. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the idea that going around to colleges and finding some kid who just recently came out of the closet and is discovering themselves and trying to like quote Leviticus at them effectively is somehow some beautiful foundation of democracy. Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so
also
mad.
like, are people falling for it, or are people like?
No, but that's the other thing is a
that's
lot
the
of these
thing is,
people
like,
are not saying the truth.
It's not.
You know?
It's just people. I don't know. It's just a lot of people that are just like I don't know. It's really really tough.
I mean,
because then you
listen,
see like people in your life too that you're like, who are like, we shouldn't. You should be careful what you say, or like you're like what. Like you really are feeling like what it would have been like in the 30s in Germany, and plenty of people that you would consider like someone you're like you're gonna side with them, you're gonna because it in your mind it won't affect you, it won't impact you, and that's better to be unbothered at all than any sort of moment of uncomfortability. I'm not even saying like death is on the line. I'm saying like just being slightly uncomfortable. You would rather be like, oh no, I don't want to deal with that at all. So
and let's just say I do think it's like I did read something of I'll say it one time. If this is what radicalizes you, that's embarrassing. But that's great. If that's the shirt you want to make, listen.
Like, whatever.
If when Jimmy Kimmel, goes on some, when Jimmy Kimmel goes on the Tonight Show in a week, and you give a standing ovation, and you go like, that's fine. I will hold my tongue. That the idea that like all the late night hosts are all martyrs suddenly, I will hold my tongue. If that's what it takes for you to go, this is not good.
Yeah.
If this is the moment in the 2025, you go, I don't know. Great. Welcome to the club.
Good.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. I don't think we can't be choosers right now. Like, it's like anyone that is like, oh wait, this is fucked up. Yeah. Come on.
And you
now.
got so Dana White. This was the same day. This is the UFC idiot. Who slapped his wife back when nothing mattered. Hi, honey. You look beautiful. Okay. They don't look in front of the camera. Listen, this is crisis. No worries. You're great. Love you. So Dana White. He's on the podcast with Logan Paul again. These guys that are leading factions of guys, and I want to talk. I want to talk to the guys following. Listen, here's what Dana White said.
Okay, but can I just say one thing before you even say what Dana White said?
Yeah.
What I'm most mad about this moment right now is how much I have to know about these kinds of people that for years I kind of knew who they were, and I didn't really have to pay attention to it. And now the fact that I've had to hear so much about Charlie Kirk and Dave Portnoy and Dana White and all these awful people, it's driving me crazy because I was able to ignore it for a long time. And this is maybe one of the worst parts of the rise of fascism, is that I have to know more about these fucking losers.
And that's the whole thing. I mean, it's all a chasing of fame. It's all okay. So look, this is more important. Where these are, someone shared like some of Charlie Kirk's YouTube videos from this year. These are the titles. So remember, this guy's by the way, he got a special. So Charlie Kirk's now going to have a special on the Friday night Jimmy Kimmel slot. That I'm sure it's going to be a real banger, real great stuff. Okay, these are the titles. College queer is all talk, no facts. 10 months ago. Rainbow-clad trans activist won't stop yelling nonsense at me. 1 month ago. Charlie Kirk humiliates pro-trans leftist. 4 months ago. These are either from Charlie Kirk or Turning Point UK. Charlie Kirk wrecks deluded pro-trans long-haired hippie. These are what I do for a living. And it is not an act of nobility or truth.
Yeah.
The difference is I go, here's entertainment. That's the goal. That's the end goal. Here's some entertainment. You want to be entertained. What these people want to do is take away rights from people and by the way, I know that the comparison to the Nazi thing has been going on too long. It's too loose. Yeah. Everyone uses it. But like they went after queer people. And here's why. Because you find a minority that is small enough that you can have everyone go after them, and then you use that to prove the power of your coalition, and you build it up, and you go after to think that you are somehow like original in your thought or your feelings about queer people aren't related to some of the greatest crimes. I
also think important point that you made is that when we're criticizing these people for going after more fame and money, we are also doing that.
Yes.
But again, it's through a different, we're being honest about, we're pursuing comedy. I'm doing theater. I'm doing like, we're pursuing it in a way that's like, it's not through this fake lens of that they actually care about things and that they're, that they want a better America and all sorts of things, when in reality they want the same things that we want. They just are going about it in a way that is so hurtful to millions and millions and millions of people. and they ultimately don't care that because they don't have enough talent or ability to do it in another way. So this is the way that they can do it.
And they'll justify it in any which way. Like some of them are intelligent. Some of them are well spoken. Some of them are persuasive. But I promise you, at the end of the day, when Matt Walsh, who's the Daily Wire guy, like all he wants is this power and fame and money, and he probably does have a little philosophy behind it, but that's not what's driving the way that he's now trying to differentiate cancel culture between what's happening now. Let's play the just the Kimmel clip, just so we can because sorry, I know it's a ranty episode. What are you gonna do?
We're all
It's along with that bad faith stuff. No one's offended by this.
No one's offended by
this clip. It is an excuse. Trump said 2 months ago. Kimmel's next.
Trump was offended. Trump is the snowflake that was offended,
but he's not even offended. Like I don't know. Like I understand how we want to use like the snowflake terminology, but it's worse than that. It's not even a feeling. It's just an excuse to grab power.
No. I think
you
he
think
actually.
So?
Oh, I think it drives him nuts when people make fun of him, and knowing that it's in a public thing where people are laughing at that. I think that does actually drive him nuts. I think he's so, listen, because he is a showman. He wants to be liked so badly. The thing is, like, you've seen how he just sometimes is with someone that, and then like is like, oh, I don't know, maybe, and you're like, you don't feel that way. Like as soon as you go to your office, you're going to do an executive order, or the opposite of that. I think he is pretty wants to be seemingly liked.
I think what a lot of people will discover, and it probably will be too late, will be at the end of America. I think we're kind of there. This is like if you wanted to do roast battles, and you were being beaten, and so then you punched the guy on stage. You just punched him. And they said, well, he's dead. I guess you win. And you would go home. You go, yeah. And then you go home and you go, I don't feel like I won. I don't feel like I participated in the cool thing, or I'm part of the good art, or I am not. It was so frustrating about this, especially from a comedian angle. I am not here to praise. Oh, we could make this Shakespearean. I am not here to praise Caesar. I am not here to praise Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
It's like play the clip, Paige. Sorry.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
I mean, we could have done a tag on where we showed him dancing at the Yankees game. I mean,
yes,
we could have.
It's so I think it's a fool's errand again when it comes to engaging in bad faith discussions. Like, yeah, if I believed that this country had any integrity left, and we really were going like, hey, maybe change this in the writer's room, you could say that the phrasing, which is what people are hanging their hat on, they're trying to say that the shooter is anything but one of them. It certainly leaves a gray area where it is suggesting or loosely implying like the shooter was a MAGA person.
Yeah.
Fine. Who gives a fuck? The way it was phrased certainly was not like it was this thing.
Yeah.
It was definitely phrased in a mildly confrontational way, and the idea that you would cancel someone over a show over that. And then I saw someone say it wasn't just that; it was that they undermined that Trump actually wasn't sad about Charlie Kirk. You children, I mean, grow up.
Do they think he cried? I mean, come on.
You think he cried? You think he was sad?
Cried? You think he cried?
You think he was dancing the YMCA at the baseball game because he was like, "This is what Charlie would have wanted."
The moment he got that news, he probably was like, whoever told him, he was like, "That's terrible. That's terrible." And then he went into that bathroom, and he.
Not even that. I think right away. I can't. There's so many of the people that you think are like, they went, oh. I promise that second this is what we can do with it.
Yeah.
This is what we can do with it. Nobody's sad. Do you see these people mourning or crying? No, they become a battle cry. And by the way, before they knew anything about the shooter, they immediately start going like, we have to take, while the liberals are going, we need peaceful coexistence, the right was going, we got to round them all up.
I do have to say, I think it's impossible to ignore the connection between that we're seeing the like sort of levers of fascism, and it's like happening at the late night level. I think that is, there's no way we can ignore that Trump is president and that it's happening at the late night on TV level of like, that's number one target. I just imagine this guy who desperately wanted fame, who desperately wanted to be liked by elite New Yorkers and like people in, and he's at all the parties, he's doing all the things, but he knows that all these people kind of fucking hate him always. They're kind of like, he's a joke. He's a thing. He has his TV show. He's desperate. I just feel like he has such a chip on his shoulder about the entertainment industry and like being probably mocked for years and years and years, and also just never have been able to been in it, like to be like accepted and like and embraced.
Well, certainly, like, I mean, in a way, he was in it. I think he's surrounded by a lot of people who never even got in it at all. Like, it's the same way where like when like Shane Gillis does SNL or Cam gets on SNL, a lot of the Kill Tony people are like, my boy did it. And you go like, oh, I thought you hated the thing. And it's like, no, of course, everyone wants to participate in the shiny mainstream thing. And Trump did to a degree.
Yes, that's what I mean.
But he's certainly surrounded by a lot of people who never did.
You can feel like at those NBC parties when he was there and doing things, he can feel like, imagine being at that party and you're like, Trump's there and you're like, oh, brother. Like even before he was Trump now, like that was a different Trump, but it was never like the guy you'd be like, that's a fun guy that like, I want to be friend. It's a sight show. It's a freak show. It's like, it's like seeing something silly, like it's not respectable. It's like, okay, yeah. He's I don't know. So it just feels like he can feel that as a human being that for years he wanted to be a part of it and was like kind of a joke.
But now it's like this. What is he? 10,000 years old. It's like we are allowing everything in our country, all the checks and balances, to be just shattered by someone who's going to be out of here.
You have to imagine Succession started at the end of a thing, and like all the stuff he was doing and everyone around him being like, oh, he's doing this. Oh. It's the like death rattle before you, and that could be years and years and years. But
it could be years and years.
Like,
yeah.
It's like a thing of like, you have to imagine Logan Roy wasn't as chaotic as he was in the 4 seasons that we watched before. Like there was a little bit of more normalcy.
What can you look up, Paige? Can you look up? It was like Trump's last tweet where he mentioned, someone showed it to me and I said, no, that's fake. You ever have one of those where you go, no, that's not real?
No, I know. Yeah.
There's no way that's real. There's no way Trump would directly talk about Seth Meyers. And then it said Seth Meyers and Fallon, which, by the way, just if anyone doesn't know part of the history, where I think it was the White House Correspondents' Dinner where Seth Meyers was the speaker. And
Seth Meyers is kind of the hardest one out of all the late nights, I think, in terms of outside of John Oliver. Like I'm removing any of the the streamers.
So way back, I think White House Correspondents, it was like Trump and Seth Meyers.
He says Jimmy and Seth. What's Jimmy been doing to you?
I know. Great news for America. This is if you're just listening, this is Russell tweeted this last night. Great news for America. No. The ratings challenged Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. The ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President DJT. You know what's so? I mean, again, this guy never should have been president, in my opinion. But it's like when you're able to when the news clearly wasn't prepared for someone who just lied every time they spoke. They didn't know how to handle it. They couldn't focus on one thing. And you've gotten to this place where no one knows what the ratings are for any of these shows. He can just say it had the highest, had the lowest, and he can literally confront logic, and he can go, it has lower ratings than the thing that has the lowest ratings, if that's even possible. And we don't even get to go, what does that mean, sir? We're so far gone that it allows him to talk in a way that stupid people can just go, yep, it's low. It's even lower than zero.
But what is so funny is as a businessman, your answer is just to cancel all the jobs.
Downside. You're listening to The Downside. The Downside. With Gianmarco Soresi.